So, evening, boys. Pre-match West Brom, Liverpool West Brom. I think as we said on our WhatsApp chat, well done to Leicester. Good for Brendan. Good for Leicester as well. I think they deserve it. And well done to Rangers and Stevie G. You know, very good achievement. Really good achievement. Okay, who wants to kick us off? Kush, you kick us off tonight, man, about tomorrow's game.
Yeah, you're going to be surprised here, but I'm actually quite positive.
That's scary.
I'm a little bit worried now. I'm worried. Who are you, and what have you done with Kush?
Yeah, exactly. No, I think if as I said the other day, I think if we play anything like we played against United, we'll win the next 3 games. But I always have that niggling doubt with putting back-to-back results together this season. If you look at how we've done, if you look at the games where we've played really well this season. So if you look at like Palace, for example, or if you look at I think we played very well against Leicester at Anfield, if I remember. I think we won 3-0.
Yeah, I can't remember that.
And then there's been some handful of other games like Chelsea. We beat them 2-0 away. But then if you look at the games that we followed it up with, we've kind of, we haven't met expectations. So that's my only doubt. But I'd hope that we'd be okay. The one good thing today, and it's not about the West Brom game. We'll come on to Burnley game, but Burnley took an absolute hammering against Leeds today. And that if there was any game in that 3 that I was a little bit more worried about, it's the Burnley away game because they've got fans in the stadium. But they look as if they're already on their summer holidays. So I'm actually quietly confident about tomorrow. I don't. Is there any injury news? Anyone that came up? I'd hope the same. I'd hope he starts with the same 11.
Yeah,
Mane starts tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you'll start Mane because Mane's got a point to prove.
In place of who?
Jota.
He's like a bear with a sore head, Mane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I take your point. My only the only thing I would say today, twofold. Number one, obviously, I see your argument that he's going to have something to prove. But equally, if he's done that to the manager, you kind of like, you might take the other view, which is, hold on a minute, you don't do that. But I think more importantly, it goes back to the form thing. I'm not sure his form's been that great. I think Jota starting the other day looked much more dangerous than Mane did, or Mane has looked in the last, this season.
We've got into the last 3 games of the season. If truth be told, he shouldn't change the team. You're right. I mean, that front 3, they all scored. They linked up well. They had good opportunities to score. So, yeah, he shouldn't really be changing that team tomorrow. I'll retract on Mane playing tomorrow, I think, because they were very fluid the other day. They played well, I mean, we forgot to mention the other night, I was when we were watching, we were 3-1 up, and that Jota's gone 1-on-1 with the keeper, and to make it 4-1.
Yeah.
So, no, I think I make Kush right. It should be the same side tomorrow. There shouldn't be any changes. Shouldn't be. I'm just wary of the old.
My point about the other night was what I said the other night was I think that front 3 that he started with would have been my front 3 for a while now. And what I was surprised about was how long he persisted with Mane. You could argue the same about Firmino to an extent, because you could argue that Firmino, but I was very, very surprised he hadn't taken Mane out the side long before he did yesterday, the day before yesterday. So that's I think, I'm quietly confident.
I'm more worried about the Sam Allardyce effect, if I'm honest. He seems to have a bloody kibosh on us, that bloke. Always seems to get a result against Liverpool. From when he was at Bolton, he used to do things like that to Liverpool.
I know, but if you look at it, they did his record against Liverpool on LFC TV, and he's played 26 games against Liverpool with all these different clubs. He's only ever won 5 games. He's lost 19, and he's drawn 2.
Is that right?
So his record is not fantastic against Liverpool. I remember Benitez's first game, and we had a good goal ruled out from Garcia, and I think we lost that game. That was Benitez's first, well, not his first game, but the first time Benitez played Sam Bolton. I think that was one of his wins. But yeah, listen, I'm not worried about Sam Allardyce effect. I think if we play how we played the other day, we'll be too good for them. But I think
that's all that counts. I think, as you said, it's the last, and it started from Man United the other day. They know what they've got to do now. There's no reason really why we should. Listen, if we get troubled tomorrow by West Brom, then we get what we deserve, and that's the end of it. They're a team playing for nothing. We're a team playing for everything.
Yep.
We've got the players, like we said today on the phone. We've already got the better players.
Oh yeah, without a doubt,
to win the game on a normal basis. The fact that we've really got something between our teeth to win, and they've got absolutely nothing. I don't like. Listen, we're talking now. We're talking half-heartedly because it's like a gimme in golf.
No, it's not. It's not a gimme.
We think it's one of those 1-foot putts in golf that you just say, take it away.
No. This is going to be tough tomorrow because
I think that's the toughest game out of the 3 tomorrow.
Maybe.
What tougher than Burnley?
Yeah, because like you said earlier on, I mean, I was listening to the game earlier on. They had their slippers on, didn't they?
Yeah.
Well, I think, hold on, I watched a bit of that game, and let me tell you, if you haven't seen it, watch the highlights of that game, because Leeds were exceptional. I mean, Burnley, you can say they weren't playing for anything, but Leeds were very, very good, exceptional. And I was talking to Yaz today about it. I said, that Kelvin Phillips, he's a player. Yeah, he's a player. He's a proper player. And, we were talking about transfers. That's one I wouldn't mind seeing in the summer because he's a top player, man. And he's young, 22. He's good.
A proper midfielder, isn't
he? Yeah, he's good. He did a pass today, man. Wow. It was like Trent. It was like watching Trent play. He's exceptional. He really is. Leeds were very, very good. Burnley were trying, Burnley were trying. They weren't not trying. They were trying. They were, being very physical, fouling a lot, and their physicality, that game they play, Leeds just matched them for that, but they had the quality. And that is the template for these next 3 games that we've got to do. These 3 teams will try and unsettle us. They will try and be physical. They will try and bully us. All of those teams, West Brom, the Burnley away, and even Palace when they play people like Benteke up front, and they will try and bully us. We have to stand up to that, match them for the fight, and the quality will shine through because we have got the quality, no doubt about it.
I think how they play, though. If they sit back and they build a wall, and we've got to break it down, it becomes a little bit. We ain't had a game like that for a while, actually. Now, when you look back, teams have been having a go at us.
Yeah. I think these 3 teams will have a go at us, though. I don't see them just sitting back and settling for Liverpool having all the ball. I'll be surprised. I'll be shocked.
That would suit us. That would suit us. If that was the case, I'd say yeah. But if Sam Allardyce wants to spoil the party, let's say, and he gets them all behind the ball, just sitting there, because he's done it before. He done it with Everton. Yeah. He done it with Everton as well. But
I think where he's done it before is where he wants the point or he wants a result. Whereas obviously tomorrow, he could scupper us, as you rightly say. But I think
he's that kind of bloke.
Tomorrow, he's got nothing to lose, has he? He's not points don't matter.
Yeah, but Sammy Lee's his number 2, man. Sammy Lee's a Liverpool legend. He's going to say to Sam tonight on the phone, listen, mate, what the fuck does it is? Just let them take the 3 points. I became a legend at Liverpool in the 80s. Okay, yeah. I've been there. The fans loved me. Just throw the game. No, listen, there's no reason for us not to win that game, man. There's no reason for us not to win that game. Just even the quality. If you put out that team that played against Man United the other day, and they put out, I mean, who have they got to hurt us? I don't see anything there.
The only way they'll hurt us is the defence lacks pace. That's the only weakness we have right now, is the centre-backs. Nat Phillips has done amazingly well. And that Reece Williams, he did all right too the other day. These are big games for these guys to come into. And they're not, the start of the season, they wouldn't have been.
Is Kabak still out tomorrow?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, but these guys would never have dreamed they would be the rear guard for Liverpool's Champions League push, the final 3 games. They wouldn't have thought that. They've come in, they've done so well. They deserve, no blame can be attached to these young guys, none at all. Whatever happens,
we've just got to be professional in our last 3 games, because tomorrow you could have a scenario of being the better team for 20 minutes, concede a set piece, which we are vulnerable at. Okay, concede a goal and go 1-0 down, and they're he is the master of sitting on a 1-0 or trying to sit on a 1-0, and that could make it difficult. So look, I think we could have the same chat now. We could have the same chat now for the next 3 games. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who we're playing. The chat is the same. Apart from in between the penultimate game and tomorrow's game, Chelsea would have played Leicester, and we know what we're looking at points-wise. But it's there in black and white.
We've got to win all 3 anyway.
Well, you don't have to. Depending on, we could go to the last game of the season, and one of them may drop points. They've both got difficult games. Last game of the season, Chelsea away to Villa, and Leicester at home to Spurs. So they're no gimmies, either of them. So listen, it's there in black and white. As we said, we know what we've got to do. There's no reason we're Liverpool. We should be winning these games, and I'm confident tomorrow for a comfortable win tomorrow. I really am.
I hope so. I think we can do it. It's just
if we score early.
Yeah, I think they just have.
We've hit form at the right time. It's the best bit of form we've shown all season. Well, and apart from the first few games of the season.
Let's just hope it's enough. Let's hope it's enough. The only thing when we're talking about starting lineup, the reason why I agree you should start with the same team, but the only reason Mane might get into the starting lineup is because I think Klopp will like the fact that he's angry, and he'll be thinking maybe he's going to do something today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that'd be showing a sign of weakness. Kush is right. If a player does that to you and then you bring him into the net, listen, it depends what their relationship has as well.
Apparently, Henderson done it as well.
I mean, my thing about that is, I personally, I think, psychology aside, you do that if for example, if you had rested Mane in the previous game, he wasn't happy being rested, then I agree. But Mane wasn't rested. Mane has been dropped. Mane's form has not been great. So you're then turning around and saying, actually, I'm going to put him back in the team, and his form hasn't changed. And that's my only thing is from a purely selection perspective, I don't think I don't think he warrants a start in the team.
No, I agree. But all I would say is this: for me, Jota is a better substitute than Mane. Jota can come into a game and impact it, whereas Mane, he doesn't seem to impact games as a sub.
That's true.
He don't impact them from the start.
Jota, exactly. Jota was really good starting.
Yeah, I think the starting lineup's the starting lineup.
Jota played well for 65, 70 minutes the other day, and then he started to fall off.
Then he started to tire.
If you win the game by that time, you can replace him with a midfielder if you have to.
Yeah.
put a massive shift in that guy.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think it's
Jota's better technically than Mane. Mane relies on his pace, whereas Jota's better in tight spaces.
Yeah. Look, Mane, I said it earlier on, Mane's had a bad season, but, you know, I think just before his form dipped, he was at such a high level, the way he was playing. He was almost like he was bored of playing normal football and he wanted to play PlayStation football. You know, he wanted to be one of these PlayStation characters. You know, you thought, well, I'm bored. I don't want the simple. I want the extraordinary. And I think that was his mistake. That's why he just didn't continue doing the things that got him to that top level. And I think if he gets back to that, he is a top player. I don't care what anyone says he is. But he just, this season, he hasn't showed it, obviously. But let's see. So we're looking at a victory tomorrow, yes?
Yeah, without a doubt. I can't even make it. I can't even make a case for anything else.
Pete, you on board?
I'm going to say 3-0.
Wow, I like you.
3-0.
I like you. I really like you.
I'm with Pete. I'm 3-0 as well.
Bloody hell, Kush.
Well, you're not smoking up the road in cocktails.
I think we need a little drugs and alcohol test over there, mate.
Right, what were you saying?
No, I normally do give a score prediction, and I will give a score prediction. I said I think we'll win. My score prediction for tomorrow is going to be 4-0.
Oh.
Listen.
Yeah, no, I honestly think we have found a little bit of mojo. I really do.
Yeah, I want to win. I think 2-0, 2-1.
Listen, at this stage of the season, it's just the result that counts. So
yeah.
Jason, I can't do.
That's where you're wrong.
One going into like 10 minutes left. That's what
I'm saying. 2-1 means you need to change your pants every 10 minutes.
Well, that's how we're playing at the moment, my friend. I'm looking at the history of Liverpool. We don't do easy.
No,
now 4-0, lovely. Oh my God, if it's 4-0, I'll be relaxing. But I think it's going to be tight. But look,
have we not found though this season, for the first time in a long time, we're biting our nails or twitching? I mean, last season and the season before, we had so many games where it was just on autopilot, and all of a sudden, against Man United the other night,
the season before was helter-skelter. We were chasing it to the end, weren't we?
What I'm saying was, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as a supporter, you were under no stress at all. Man United the other night.
You were the season before.
Man United. No, we weren't under stress the season before.
I think the point is when in games before where we've had leads. If you look at our performances over the last 2 years, you kind of, even with a 1-goal lead, we were reasonably comfortable because we kept the ball.
Yeah,
and then also we normally scored another goal as well.
Yeah, exactly. Or we went and scored another goal. This season, we've never been comfortable holding a lead because we haven't kept the ball enough.
Only in certain games we've been all right, but not in enough. I think the difference is this season teams have known, because we're struggling to score goals, that if they get a goal, they've got a chance. Whereas before, teams knew they had to score 3 to stand a chance of getting anything out of the game.
Right.
That's the change this year. All right, guys, we'll chat tomorrow after the game.
Have a good one, lad.